Okay, now some people, I personally don't like just plain things. So if you don't want a plain checkbox, we can do it so you can put a style into it, and that just gives the button a different look. I forgot something up there. Good thing I went back up there. Okay, so now I'm going to add this in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little star. Okay, and I'm going to name this just star, make it simple. Okay, and then we're going to do the style here that we have to fill in. And this is going to be style equals question mark Android, and then attribute star style. And it's important you type it like that, lowercase and then uppercase. And then we're just going to fill in again. You'll see we type this a lot, the layout, width, and the height. And this as well is wrap content. You want to make sure that you are closing these when you are doing this. It's very important. You leave one of these open, it can throw off the whole code. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a radio group in, and this is so I can add in radio buttons. So we're just going to put some of this code in, and you're starting to see a pattern here of the @ and the IDs. And I'm just going to name it Radio Button Group 1. And sometimes it's easy if you just make them simple. You don't have to get really elaborate with the names that you give them. Okay, we'll just push this over here. And this is going to be filled in. And this is going to be wrap content. And then I'm just going to do the orientation here. And then we're just going to go ahead and close that out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 radio buttons in here. And by doing this, what I'm doing is I'm giving multiple options here. So if you want to choose a button, a different button, you have choices. However, when one button is clicked, the other one automatically will unselect itself. So that's something that's important to remember. Okay, so with this, we're just going to do the @ plus, give it an ID. I'm just going to make it radio button 1. Just make it simple. And then again, layout. We're going to do fill parent. Okay, this is the wrap content. And then we're just going to do the text equals option 1. Okay, and now just to save a little time, I'm going to go ahead and copy this just for the second button. So go ahead and take this. I'm going to go ahead, put it in here, and I do want to kind of line it up a little bit, makes it easier on the screen. Okay, I'm going to name this button 2. Then I'm going to go ahead and this is option 2. Group here. And now the last thing I want to do, I want to do a toggle button. Make sure we put that extra T in there. And put this in again, ID equals @ plus ID. We're just forcing you to toggle one, and again, force the enter down. See, I must just capitalize that. We don't want to do that when we're doing that. So it's important that you pay attention to that you're taking the code just as it should be. And this basically is a button that can be clicked on or off for the toggle button. And now I'm going to close it there. And then in here we're just going to, let me make sure I closed out my linear. It should be closed down there. I'm going to hit save. Okay, now I already have an error up here. Let's see what it says. Pixel name is expected. Okay, so I need to look back and make sure I didn't miss anything. Sorry again. And I can see already what I did up here. It looks like the quotation marks need to go before the question mark. I can throw things off. Let me try that now. Okay, and as you see, we're getting all these little yellow pop-ups. This is basically just saying they would prefer you put it in a string. However, it's not important. You don't have to necessarily do that. Okay, I'm getting another error. Okay, it looks like with my radio group here, up here, and here I forgot to close it out. So it's very important to remember that. Now, I'm going to see if I can go ahead and run this. Okay, so I went to run it and it gave me an error. As you can see, I didn't have this typed out correctly. And again, it's very important that you make sure you don't miss things like that. However, we are human, it will happen. So I'm going to go ahead and see if that fixes it. It looks like it did. So now I'm going to go ahead and try to run this. Okay, so I just ran this in the emulator, and I'm pulling up so I can show you now the basic views I came up with. It will take a minute or so when you first start your emulator. So here it comes up here, there it is, and as you can see, something's not right. All I can see is my save button, so let me just click back to the home here, and let me just check my codes. Something is off here. Okay, I don't know if you can see what I did wrong, but I already see it. Okay, my orientation here, it says horizontal, which means it'll stack next to each other, so we want to do this vertical so that we're able to see everything, and it must be lowercase. When you scroll down and look, you can see here that I also made my radio group vertical. So let's go ahead and save it, and let's try to run it one more time and see what we got. So down here, you can see it's starting to run it again. So we're going to go ahead and pull up our emulator here. And see what we come up with. And now we see here, we have our save button, and as you can see, it fills the entire screen here because we used the fill parent. And here on the open button, we did the wrap content, so it wrapped directly just to the size it needs for the text. Here's our autosave where we can check it, and here's that cute star that I wanted to put in there. You have your radio button. There's option 1. If I click option 2, you'll notice option 1 goes off. I'll click off of here and here. And last but not least, we have here our toggle button, on and off. And in here, you can also put some text in. I do believe if you click in here, it will come up. Sorry again about that. And then you can put in anything you want. And then if we hit save, I'm not sure. I think because we haven't added more into it, it's not going to really save it into anything. So that's my tutorial here on basic views. I hope you enjoyed my first video. Thank you.